Thank you very much, Jasper, for the introduction, and thank you very much to AFA for inviting me to the forum today. Today I'm here with my colleagues from GPIC and EBRD to present what I think is going to be one of the most interesting projects in IFA this year, which is the Nitrogen Technology Roadmap. But first of all, I'm going to quickly introduce IFA sustainability and stewardship programs. Why product stewardship? I think our industry has shown many efforts and progress in terms of safety, health and environment. However, the pressures and scrutiny from governments and stakeholders is still increasing. They want our industry to become more sustainable and show our progress in terms of environmental impact. So in order for our companies to demonstrate their efforts and have some feedback for their governments, IFA has developed many stewardship tools. Some of them are, for example, our 3 benchmarks on safety, energy and emissions, and also our Protect and Sustain certification. Our product stewardship certification is called Protect and Sustain, and it has been developed by IFA a couple of years ago, and it has already become the industry global standard for the fertilizer industry. I think we have now 55 of the biggest fertilizer producers who have been certified, and I believe 2/3 of AFA members already are Protect and Sustain certified, so congratulations. The certification is based on ISO and OSHA standards, also responsible care, but it has been specifically suited for the fertilizer industry. For example, it has questions on product security, and it also has a point-based system. So every year, companies can assess their level and strive for continuous improvement. Regarding our benchmarks, as I said, we have a benchmark on safety for workers and both employees and contractors. We have a benchmark on environmental performance, which records emissions to water, air and land. And we have a benchmark on energy efficiency and CO2 emissions for ammonia production. As my colleague earlier mentioned, I think our fertilizer industry is responsible for 1% of global greenhouse gas emissions. So with these benchmarks, we can assess where the industry stands today, and you can track your efforts on your measures to reduce them, see how your improvements have resulted. Now, I know filling surveys is not the most interesting part of the job, and I know, for example, AFA has their own surveys and benchmarks. So IFA has started a mapping exercise to avoid what we call survey lacking. And we have recently worked with AFA, Fertilizers Europe, TFI, FAI and CPCIF to map all the surveys and benchmarks that have been done by regional associations and try to come up with a harmonized benchmark that suits all of us. Now, IFA also wanted to give back to you and recognize your efforts in all terms of sustainability. So our new project that we launched at the end of last year was to recognize our members and award them the Industry Stewardship Champion And I think at the end of last year, we already had 34 companies that reached this high level. And for companies to become industry stewardship members, they have to have a valid Protect and Sustain certification and have participated to the latest rounds of the 3 benchmarks. Now, I wanted to also mention that IFA has decided at the end of last year to make all the benchmarks available for free for members. So if you want to become an industry stewardship champion next year, this is your chance. Now I wanted to quickly introduce some of our sustainability projects. I think now with the Paris climate agreements and the UN sustainability goals, our industry has to look forward and map what new technologies are out there, how could we do to improve our environmental footprint, and how can we recycle our waste products. So in line with this, like I said, I wanted to introduce quickly our nitrogen technology roadmap, and IFA is very happy to have partnered with the International Energy Agency and EBRD here today to work on this nitrogen fertilizer roadmap. Now, the goal of this roadmap is very challenging, which is to try to come up with a pathway for the industry to become carbon-free by 2050. So it is quite a challenge. I'm going to leave now to Yasser Al-Abbasi to explain more about this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lucia.